What about Hibs? It's not just Hibs. I think this is worrying. They're the latest club to pledge to slash the away ticket allocation after what they describe as abhorrent behaviour and chanting by visiting fans to Easter Road. So that follows the game at the weekend. Sure, there's a lot of chants go on at grounds that shouldn't be there. But I think it's worrying that clubs can now say we're going to severely limit the allocations. Stephen, any thoughts?
Yeah, it's getting silly, isn't it? You know, Celtic and Rangers, almost everyone in the country looks to them for leadership. We don't have it in the league. We don't have officials that run the league and make the rules, and we don't. There's not a minimum. You need to have this amount of away fans, so it's led by the clubs, and they've set the standard almost by saying, "How you aren't come to this game," and the clubs are following on with it, and it's the fans that suffer. You know, Hibs are pointing to Rangers fans, but also they've had incidents within their own support. I'm worried about where the game's going in terms of we almost seem to eat ourselves in terms of the game instead of making it better.
Yeah, and I think there's an element of supporters that they let the other supporters down.
Yeah.
You know, everybody goes to a football match to enjoy and watch their team win and play, but then I don't know why they feel the need to be singing these sort of songs and, you know, calling players out and calling things that have gone in history out, and I'm not sure if you'll ever stop it. I just think you have to try and pick out the wrong type of fan. You know, it's hard to get a grip of, you know, everybody that's doing it, Paul, because there are certain fans that don't sing these songs. Yeah. And it's a shame for the good ones that go to these ground and ultimately they have to suffer because they might cut the allocation and they won't be allowed to go.
And everyone has to look at their own clubs, because look at Hibs in the game with Hearts just the other week, the derby. Some of the players were being pelted, weren't they, onto the pitch anyway. There were too many things being. In fact, Lauren Shankman did well at the penalty. He kind of made light of it, Stephen. But for players, this is madness.
I mean, even it's scary and even the one at Ibrox, the broken glass in the pitch. It's horrendous to think of the consequence of what happens. John's right. There's a minority that can ruin it, but I just think, how can a club just come out and just say, right, that's it? You're only getting that amount of fans. I mean, we're always trying to progress the game up here, and you just wish someone within the league or the SFA could take charge and set basic rules.
It's a mentality, isn't it? It's a mentality of individuals. You know, they've got to look at themselves and think, what are they bringing to the game? You know, what are they bringing to the fan element when they're calling people all sorts of derogatory names and songs and all this? Take a look at yourself. Have a look in the mirror and think, what are you adding to the game? Do you know what I mean? It's difficult because there's people out there. They've got different characters, different way of acting. But it's definitely down to the individual in terms of, you know, taking control of what you're saying.